Today we're outside the Cape Town Central Police Station to lay criminal charges on Minister of Police Senzo Mchunu for deliberately lying to Parliament, meaning he's committed an act of fraud.
I'm sure you have not seen any letter that I've signed to close the unit. I've not signed it, and I don't think anybody has ever seen a letter where I've signed off the close of the unit.
So the day we're not going to sit idling by to watch ministers directly lying to Parliament.
What Mkhwanazi has stated. Let's go back to the year 2012. In 2012, Mkhwanazi was the acting commissioner of police, and he never became the commissioner of police because he was found unsuitable.
South Africa, are we now punishing people who tell us the truth? Because that's exactly what it looks like. Just hours after Lieutenant-General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi held one of the most explosive whistleblowing press conferences in SAPS history, exposing what he says is political interference, deliberate sabotage, and high-level corruption, Paul O'Sullivan appeared on Newsroom Africa with a different mission. Not to ask what is Mkhwanazi revealing, not to investigate the truth, but to discredit him, to paint him as the problem, to accuse him of corruption, and to raise the possibility, and I quote, that Mkhwanazi might be threatening a coup. Yes, a coup. All because a police commissioner decided to speak up. Let's get to it. Paul O'Sullivan claimed on live television that Mkhwanazi had approved a 35 million rand tender for luxury vehicles, allegedly signed off by Lieutenant-General Masimula. He then claimed the two went on an overseas trip with a police supplier, and that, and I quote, the pair of them came back with what you call a Louis Vuitton. Probably gave the bags to their wives. Let's pause. This is not a court ruling. This is not an investigation finding. This is hearsay presented as fact. And the key word in his sentence, probably. So let's be clear. Paul Sullivan, a man known for his hard stance on corruption, went on a national television to say Mkhwanazi, without evidence, probably gave his wife a Louis Vuitton handbag and probably was part of a 35 million rand looting scheme. Based on what? He didn't say. He also didn't explain how he verified these claims. He just said, and again I quote, I've had a chance to go through the allegations and I'm satisfied that they are false. Just like that. A few hours after the press conference, he's suddenly satisfied that everything Mkhwanazi said is false. Where's the forensic report? Where's the paper trail? Where's accountability? And more importantly, why is the focus on discrediting the messenger instead of investigating the message? Here's the real issue. Mkhwanazi didn't just make vague claims. He named names. He described internal interference. He exposed sabotage within the police service itself, a service that has been failing ordinary South Africans every single day. And instead of amplifying the need for accountability, Sullivan went into full character assassination mode. He said Mkhwanazi was dressed inappropriately, wearing a combat uniform. He asked why task force officers flanked him, why they were armed, why they wore masks. He said, and this is a quote, "It's almost like he's challenging the government." Let's talk about that. Since when is telling the public the truth challenging the government? Since when is asking for accountability a declaration of war? If anything, it's the silence in SAPS leadership that's challenged the public. It's the cover-ups that challenge our faith in the system. It's the failure to deal with political interference that challenges the very foundation of democracy. Let's not forget, South Africa has one of the highest violent crime rates in the world. The people are scared. The people are angry. The people are desperate for leadership. So when a senior police official finally speaks up and the immediate reaction is to discredit him, that should terrify you. Because if Mkhwanazi can be dragged like this, what hope is there for ordinary whistleblowers? Sullivan said something that's worth unpacking. He accused Mkhwanazi of acting unlawfully, of releasing information from ongoing investigations and undermining the NPA. He said, and I quote again, he gives the criminal underworld a chance to get off before the trial has even begun. Let's stop here. You know what gives criminals a chance to get off? It's not transparency. It's not whistleblowing. It's deliberate delays, tempered docket, captured leadership, political protection. If Mkhwanazi's decision to speak publicly was wrong, investigate him. But don't drag him through the mud without evidence just because he embarrassed the powerful. Because here's the truth. Crime in South Africa is not winning because cops speak too much. Crime is winning because the system is designed to let it win. It's winning because certain people benefit from the chaos. And when someone disrupts that, or when someone threatens the flow of power and influence, they become a target. Let's be clear. Sullivan is not just offering a counter view. He's launching a full-on attack, calling for a judicial commission of inquiry. Not into the allegation of sabotage, but into Mkhwanazi himself. He said, and I quote, "I've sent an email to Masimula, copied the president, and I'm calling for a commission into what the hell is going on in the police service." And the irony, he might be right. We do need a commission, but not to investigate the man calling out the rot. We need a commission into why the rot is still there and why it's allowed to grow. Why whistleblowers are vilified while looters are promoted. Why public trust in the police is at an all-time low. Why the blue lights still protect criminals instead of communities. And why in 2025, telling the truth in South Africa still feels like a revolutionary act. Let's be honest, we may not know all the facts behind Mkhwanazi's claims yet, but we know this: the timing, the panic, the response from people like Sullivan says more than enough. Because if the system was clean, there'd be no fear of a press conference. There'd be no need to label someone a traitor for speaking out. There'd be no point to rush to paint a whistleblower as a criminal. So here's the message for South Africa. Don't be distracted. Don't fall for the smear campaign. Look at the bigger picture. Who benefits when the truth is silenced? Ask yourself, if the loudest voices are protecting the system and not the people, then maybe it's time to protect the truth instead. And to Paul Sullivan, respectfully, your credibility came from fighting corruption, but right now you are defending the fortress, not the people. You are defending silence, not accountability. And you don't get to decide who's patriotic. You don't get to redefine whistleblowing as sabotage. And you definitely don't get to call press conferences threats to the state, while corruption eats that state alive. I'm Nico Animo, and I stand with the truth even when it makes the powerful uncomfortable. Like, share, and subscribe, because silence has never saved a country, but the truth still might. Until next time, stay winning.